Live from our studios here, 48 Swanika Street, Abelimpia, Accra, Ghana. This is Pan-African Television News. Anchoring the news is me, Ivy Abnadidi Nakite. We're live across 46 African countries and some part of Europe. And we're live on Facebook at Pan-African Television. The headlines. The Socialist Movement of Ghana, in collaboration with Pan-African Television, has held a night of tribute in memory of the late Captain Kojo Chikata, retired. We bring you sights and sound from the Coming up on our international front, on the international front, the crisis in Yemen continues to escalate following the death of 3 civilians killed in a Saudi airstrike. We do have details of these stories and many more, including stories in the world of business, sports and entertainment. Do stay with us. The news in detail. The Socialist Movement of Ghana has held a night of tribute to eulogize Kojo Chikata of blessed memory. The retired army officer breathed his last on November 20, 2021 at the age of 85.
The colorful and breathtaking ceremony held on the premises of Pan-African Television was graced by prominent individuals drawn from the academia, diplomacy and politics. Amongst them included the Cuban ambassador to Ghana, Ahmed Garpia, Palestinian ambassador to Ghana, Abdel Fattah al-Settari, Sahrawi ambassador to Ghana, Sidi Mahamed, and former dean of the diplomatic corps, Ibrahim Halil Umar, former flag bearer of the National Reform Party, Gusitano, former ambassador to Cuba, Kojo Amu Godfrey,
Cuban revolutionaries for the liberation of Angola. I really just, in my brief remarks, want to suggest that it's important for all of us on an evening like this to consider what Kojo might represent to the younger generation, including people who may never have met him, but people who are also important for the future of our continent.
The late Captain Kojo Chikata retired, joins a list of notable Ghanaians, namely Dr. Kwame Amwakutufo, Joseph Kofi Kowe Abba, Dr. Sule Gariba, Alfred Ekojan, Comfort Ama Benyuado, Gershin Kofi Bediako Bediame, Hajia Mariama Baumia, Nat Nunu Amatefio, and Alhaji Mumuni Abu Seidu to have died this year.
Well, that was some excerpts from yesterday's night of tribute to eulogize Captain Kojo Chikata of blessed memory. Away from that, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has opined that Ghana's COVID-19 vaccine target of 20 million people could be met by the end of the first quarter next year. Now, according to him, although access to vaccines has increased considerably, the nation would not be able to fulfill the 20 million immunization target set for this year.
Since the COVID-19 mass immunization program began in March 2021, the Ghana Health Service had vaccinated 8,458,155 persons as of December 28, 2021. In an interview, Nana Akufo-Addo noted that hitting the key 20 million target will put Ghana's 30 million people closer to a herd immunity. The president also added that it was intolerable that Ghana had to rely on other countries for vaccines to protect its citizens. He stated that the African continent should have learned from the Ebola crisis and acknowledged the necessity for indigenous vaccines. According to him, Ghana was in the midst of establishing a national vaccine institute, which will be directed by extremely capable and world-class Ghanaian scientists.
A diasporan, Mami Efwa Segua, has described the ongoing mandatory COVID-19 vaccination at the Kotoka International Airport for travelers as a threat to her and others who would want to visit Ghana. Now, in a conversation on Pan-African Television's Talk Time with Kwesi Pratt Jr., she also urged government to revert its directive at the airport to
peace omo area no omo nim say omo hwe bola any gata wa ha because as we constituency no so who say we e wa ha we wa eda me ame say abane ye fa wono omo stop bola no na say omo stop dia can be piano so omo wana got away no na ase enti esia endia insolo to a ebesa enima enti twumi no omo stop omo government no ne obeya aboya ni say eno ni say omo ni nkrofo no omo stop omo se na bola no se na omo hwe gu fom omo tumi hwe gu fom bio eno be boye
obi a insolo to haya ma na gata bola ne be bon sa nti haya pa yenya na ni hanka yepe we say bon papa we say we abo say awunti maintenance
Mom, the person who said, "You need place or more dump refuse, just a hand say now."
Oh, first, you maybe put the car by sister and the container keeps to every see her say. Anna almost is about answer and you know, massa starting to add a baby and you'll be a good baller, no moon a good baller. And so not because of God, I bear my bones, and soon sunny baby baller, no, a ben antenante. Say, one day, and you're behind the now, but say a kid to a bill. I keep to be now, but I say, and I saw more discount when she more none a since he can't in Abbey Shag walk. Can't in Abbey Shag walk.
We have more stories after this break.
African Center for Capacity Building, AFCA, organizes the following executive and advanced certificate programs like Executive Certificate in Project Management, Executive Certificate in Human Resource Management, Executive Certificate in Real Estate and Property Management, Executive Certificate in Data and Records Keeping, Executive Certificate in Monitoring and Evaluation, Executive Certificate in Logistics and Transport Management, Executive Certificate in CCTV Monitoring and Installation. AFCA, where capacity building is our priority. For registration and enquiries, please call 0244 4050 0242. Where capacity building is our priority.
It's the most wonderful month of the year, and Ridge Royal Hotel will make it even more superb. Join Let's welcome our brothers and sisters from the diaspora to the historic city of Cape Coast, where it all began. The celebration train begins with a Farmers' Day afternoon jam on the The group will treat you to a fabulous poolside break. The 27th December Z, or the first of its kind fishermen and fishmongers bash at the pool area. Z is also 31st night will be a rollicking time as we enjoy the King's New Year Gala night with the Rock Factory. Truly, December at Ridge Royal Hotel is rich.
Thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. If you just tuned in, News live from our studios here, 48 Swanika Street, Abalimpia, Accra, Ghana, and my name, Ivy Abnadi Nakitena. Welcome to the business segment of the Corporate Affairs Director of the Consumers Advocacy Center, Benjamin Esuman, has called on the government to slash the electronic transactions levy from its initial percentage to 0.5%. According to him, the move will ease pressure on the life of the ordinary Ghanaian.
In the 2022 budget and economic policy statement, which was laid before Parliament last week, government announced introduction of the electronic transaction levy, which will take effect on February 1st, 2022. The policy has triggered public outcry and widespread condemnation within the country. A pressure group, Consumers Advocacy Center, has added their voice for the levy pegged at 1.75 to be reduced to 0.5 in a press release. In an interview with Modiana Nenate, the institution's Director of Corporate Affairs, Benjamin Esuman, touched on reasons for the reduction.
The 1.75% levy on all cashless transfers or electronically transferred accounts will result in increasing the burden on the ordinary Ghanaian who consumes financial services electronically. So that's the impact of a tax, which is also an indirect tax in this case. Now, the calculation that we are interested in doing is doing that of the mobile money transfers. We are interested in mobile money transfer because it's currently leading in Ghana's efforts to electronically capture financial transactions and take them away from the physical cash market. There are a lot of advantages to be gained by going this digitization, but we think that the 1.75% will erode the gains that we are looking for. Here is it. In the year 2020, the Bank of Ghana announces that we got 569 billion worth of money being transferred on the mobile money platforms. If you are therefore taxing that amount of money and you are taxing it using 1.75, it is up to us to work the mathematics and say that 0.0175, which is 1.75%, times the 569 billion, that will give the government of Ghana about 8 to 9 billion. It's very close, it's about 8.9 something billion. Now, that amount of money is new money that is coming to the government of Ghana, and it's good. However, what is the government giving as a result of this? The government says that I'm taking toll booths from our highways, and now I'm placing the toll booth on our Momo highway. So the Momo highway will now collect the money that we're supposed to get from the toll booths that we drive through. The toll booths were giving us 78 million. In 2020, the toll booths we collected, all the money we collected from toll booths was accounted for 78 million. Let's grant it that this year we are making even about 80 million. You compare the 8 billion to 9 billion that the government will get from Momo and compare it with the 78 or 80 million that it was making on toll booths. It means that the government of Ghana has jumped the revenue that it was getting from the toll booth by 10,000% jump. You know, so if in one fiscal year, in 1 year, the government is able to stop collecting 80 million and grabs 8 billion, 10,000% jump. That is astronomical. And so something must give. We think that the quotation of 1.75 is to the extreme. Look, in Uganda, they tried it with 1%. It failed. The government had to go back to do a review and reduce it to 0.5%. And even that had, the mobile money industry has not been able to overcome the boycott that the consumers boycotted the product. It was an exciting, growing industry just like Ghana. But as soon as they introduced the 1%, people decided to shy away. Already, the telcos are charging something on it. Some are charging 1% and all that. Look, a mobile...
On Newsbreak for report of that particular story. That's all for business. Up next is international news.
My wife comes and send a message. Hello. What's happened?
It's a chunk who's will be a quiet say what? I dare say,
besides, friend of fair, I'm so young.
I mean, so we are Gano and may young who could look cry. And also wants a family drilling company limited for Kana.
What's it then? Family Drilling Company Limited.
Ye two borehole, biofuel, biogas, swimming pool, plumbing works in Yinaso, ye be Frey 0240 333 111 and that's 02 144 822.
Miampa and you want swimming pool me see? Me want to be BA. Family Drilling now. Family Drilling.
What fashion is
me out with that.
Oh, it's incredible! Bang on target!
African Center for Capacity Building, AFCA, organizes the following executive and advanced certificate programs like Executive Certificate in Project Management, Executive Certificate in Human Resource Management, Executive Certificate in Real Estate and Property Management, Executive Certificate in Data and Records Keeping, Executive Certificate in Evaluation, Executive Certificate in Logistics and Transport Management, Executive Certificate in CCTV Monitoring and Installation. AFCA, where capacity building. Please call 02.
To some international news, healthy forces in Yemen announced that they have completely liberated the northern Gulf province from forces loyal to the Saudi-led coalition. Now, the spokesperson of the Healthy, Saray, claimed that the Operation Fazl al-Sahar or Operation Desert Dawn to liberate Al-Yatman was successfully completed, and the Houthis now have full control over the northern province, which shares borders with Saudi Arabia, Yemen.
The announcement comes a day after the Saudi-led coalition locations in Yemen on Saturday, killing at least 3 people, including a child and a woman in Ajama, near the capital, Sana'a. The Saudi strikes were to a Houthi missile attack earlier With Houthi Saturday, coalition forces carried out at least 24 in Marib province, where the Houthis are trying to take control over the strategically important Marib city from the coalition. The Saudi coalition carried out airstrikes at the Sana'a airport, making it inoperational and leading to a halt in the critical aid supply. Saturday's airstrikes in Sana'a and Marib mark an escalation in the 6-year ongoing war between Houthi forces and the Saudi-led international coalition, which supports the government of deposed President Abdurabu Mansur al-Hadi, now living in exile in Riyadh. The Saudi-led coalition, often by has carried out thousands of airstrikes inside Houthi-controlled areas, killing thousands of civilians and destroying civilian infrastructure. It has also imposed a complete air, sea and land blockade of these areas, which has restricted the crucial supply of food, and death, with their survival dependent on foreign aid. The UN has called the situation in Yemen, the world's worst humanitarian disaster,
this part for international stories. We bring you the happenings in the world of sports after this breather. People of Sakrade. That's all for this afternoon's bulletin. But before we go, a look again at our headlines. The Socialist Movement of Ghana, in collaboration with Pan-African Television, held a night of tribute in memory of the late Kojo Chikata retired. We brought to you some sights and sound from the colorful ceremony. Some sachet and bottled water retailers in La Paz have lamented over the declining business following prices. On all social media platforms, on Facebook at Pan-African Television, on Instagram at Pan-African Television, and on Twitter at Pan-African Television. My name is Ivy Abnadi Dinakite. Merry Christmas to all of our viewers. Keep watching Pan-African Television.